What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm C.
I'm P.
And today we're listening to Jordan Peterson, toxic.
He's basically having an interview with
I
somebody
didn't
about
say
toxic masculinity.
So you didn't let me finish.
No.
Is it? It's like 2 minutes. It's just a very short one.
Yeah.
So,
Not compared to our other ones.
Yeah.
Usually
He's
very
usually
long when
long,
it comes to Jordan Peterson, because we usually have a lot to say.
Mm-hmm. This one's ironic because it's like 2 minutes. Alright, guys, let's see what he had to say.
Mm-hmm.
We've met some of your fans, and we got the impression they were all male fans, the ones that we talked to, and that they were struggling with their manhood, and that you give them this message that it's okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary. What the hell are we going to do without men? You look around the city here, you see all these buildings go up. These men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers. They're up on the power lines in the storms and the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning. This thing that works in a miraculous manner. They work themselves to death, and often literally. And the gratitude for that is sorely lacking, especially among the people who should be most grateful. You see university professors, especially of the social justice bent, who are among the most protected and privileged people that the world has ever produced. They take everything they have for granted, failing to understand entirely that there's a massive infrastructure of unbelievably hardworking, solidly laboring, working class men breaking themselves in half on a regular basis, making sure that everything that always breaks works. And so a little gratitude for that is in order. And it's very useful to tell everyone, not just men, that they have an important role to play, a necessary role, and that if they act properly and honestly and forthrightly, that they can put their lives together and they can help their families and they can make their communities better, and that's not toxic masculinity, that appalling phrase. It's what keeps the world going round. And if we had any sense, we'd understand that instead of doing everything at every possible moment to label what we have in the West as oppressive and patriarchal and fundamentally predicated on power, of all the insane propositions.
All right, so that was a really short one,
But powerful.
But powerful, yeah.
Everything he said was so powerful. He was even getting emotional about it. You could see it in his face.
There's one thing that's like the most, like, you know, something that in the past you will never hear of. He said that he's telling men that it's okay to be men. Mm-hmm. Where in the past you wouldn't need someone to tell men that it's okay to be men. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's okay to be men.
It's because we now live in a society where so many people bash men to a point where they
feel like
they lose their identity.
Exactly. They feel like
it's not just men. We target people based off of the small percentage of people that do wrong things, and then we target the whole group, whether it's men, black people, gay people. Like, one person does something wrong, the whole group is to blame. Like, yeah, there's some men out there that are assholes, that are women beaters, that do things that they shouldn't be doing. But not all men are horrible or toxic. So many men, like he was saying, do crazy things for themselves, for their families, for society. And we don't give them enough credit. It's very sad. Like, we stand here and we'll give women credit over the small, minuscule little things. But men, it's like, fuck you. Like...
And two things he said too. One thing Jordan Peterson is always saying is that judge people by the individual, not by the group. He's against group identity, and that's why this is there, because they attribute like things that bad men do to that all men
That's
do.
what I was saying before. It's
Exactly.
like one individual
He's
does something
against
wrong, then it's the whole group that's wrong.
He's against
one
group
black
identity.
person is a hoodlum, a gangster. Every black person you meet is, oh my god, I'm scared for my life. No.
And another thing is that the things you name her, the wife beaters, those kind of men, those things are not how you would describe men. When you say describe a man, you wouldn't say wife beater or this or that is a man. No,
Well, it goes back
people
to...
do that, but that doesn't mean it's a manly quality to beat a woman up. That's not part of being a man. You know, part of being a man, it takes responsibility for what you do. Going out there and getting a job and taking care of your family, taking care of your society, taking care of the world. You know, fixing things, and you know,
It's
standing up for those who are oppressed. That's being a man.
It's going back to that video that we discussed with I didn't mean to make her cry, with the New York question about, can you name 3 good qualities in men? Like,
we've lost that.
What about all these women that are bashing men so horribly? Are you thinking about the men in your family, the men in your life, your father, your uncles, your brothers?
Yeah, and let's go broader with that. How about the men in your society, right?
Yeah.
That keeps the world, like you said, that keeps the world running.
Running.
That keeps your light on. Keep the sewers running. Because most of the people that does those jobs are not women. Most of them are men. The people who are going down to the sewers and making sure it's unclogged. People on the power lines. People who building skyscrapers and building houses.
Outside cementing the roads for
Most
you,
of them
so
are
you
not
don't
women.
like get a car crash with these potholes.
Most of them are not men. And the feminist would say, oh, it's because men are trying to keep women out of those jobs. No. Most women don't want to do those jobs.
Do that. You want to be in a sewer? Or you
Most
work
women
in a
don't
sewer?
want to do that. Exactly. So, and the thing is, men don't really get credit for any of those things, right? All they do is bash men, while you drinking clean water, enjoying electricity, enjoying your AC. You know,
when you need something fixed, who you call? Your handyman,
exactly.
Right? So let's bash men, but at the same time, when you need something, who's the first person you call?
Exactly.
So
and Jordan Peterson shouldn't have to tell men that it's okay to be men. That's crazy.
And then, like, we're so concerned about, like, how things affect a woman's mindset or a child's mindset, but nobody goes into detail about the effects that are negatively caused to a man's mindset, a man's well-being. You're diminishing them and making them have doubt in themselves, question themselves, not want to do certain things that they would normally do because society is telling them that they're being toxic or being this and that. But we don't give a shit that their mindset is now crumbled, that they're no longer the men that they used to be.
I feel like feminism, they're creating weak men because they think that's what they want, but it's not gonna be good for anyone.
What you should be doing is trying to create strong women.
You create weak men, all the world collapses.
Strong women that could be with a strong man.
Exactly.
You want to be able to be with somebody to build your own kingdom with. That's how I was raised. You want to be with somebody, you want to be strong and independent person because you don't want to rely on somebody for the rest of your life. You want to be able to do things on your own. But you also want to be with a strong person that you can build up your life with. You know what I mean? Whether it's building up a career together, building up a home together, raising kids together. It goes hand in hand. You want to be on that same level. There shouldn't be one that's higher than the other.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you create weak men, right? What does that do for women? Would you want to be married to a weak man?
No woman is going to want that because most women instinctively, thank you,
strong men.
Want a strong man, whether it's physical strength or intellectual strength. Like the movie 300 we were watching, there was a woman who was the head of an army and she was in charge of all these men. She wasn't interested in any of the men in her army, the person that she was fighting with, she was interested in. Because he was a strong man, and no matter what she threw at him, he was dodging and weaving, and that turned her on. None of the men that she was in control of her, that were weaker than her, that were scared of her, turned her on. So
Like,
what does that tell you?
Exactly. It's like if you, they're doing this to quit with men, right? But then they're not gonna want to marry one of those men that they're creating. They're saying, oh, toxic masculinity. And guys think that showing any masculinity is toxic. That's why they're being taught now.
Exactly.
You show any strength whatsoever is toxic. But
is that really what you want to teach
in
your
order
children?
to fight for what's right, you have to be strong.
Exactly.
Because you cannot be good without being strong. Because the way you be good is when you see an injustice, you have to be strong enough to stand up to that injustice and say it's wrong, and fight to make it better,
Exactly.
But if you're weak, how are you going to fight injustice? You can't. So we need strong men to make the society a better place, and strong women to help with that.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to, in order to feel like a strong woman, you shouldn't have to make men weak.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to make anybody
weaker.
If you want
to
to
be stronger.
feel stronger or feel like you're more important or more equal, you shouldn't have to bring anybody down for that. You should be building yourself up.
Exactly.
That's it. Why do you have to bash somebody else to make yourself feel better?
But I feel like
you learn this in school. That we would call that a bully.
Exactly.
You bashing somebody else to make yourself feel better makes you insignificant, makes you weaker.
Exactly.
Why would you want that?
Then everybody's weaker because you're not really becoming stronger. The other person is just weaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like now you're both weak.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So and how's that gonna benefit anyone, society, and all that? So I think in the past there were strong men and women. So I want to distinguish how men has been like.
And it hurts people on the outside too, like seeing this happen. Like look at Jordan Peterson. He was literally on the verge of tears just talking about it because it hurts him so much to see men that do such hard work that try every day to make not only themselves better and their family better, but society better, get dismantled
and bashed
and kicked. And it makes you want to cry because it's like these people, despite that, are still getting up every day and doing this job for us. And every day they're taking these hits. And then you wonder why they go home and they're now being aggressive towards their family members or end up being abusive maybe. You have to think of the psychological instincts that happen that lead up to this. You're probably making all those wife beaters and stuff like that. You're causing them by bringing men down to this level that they now have to show their aggressive side in some other way. Which is wrong.
They are weak. They are good men. They are bad men. Good women, bad women. Good people, bad people. Just because one section does something bad, don't equate that with the whole race or the whole gender or the whole and that's why Jordan Peterson is saying get away from the group identity stuff because when you define yourself by the group, any group guilt or any group wrong they can attribute to everybody in that group. So you gotta judge people by their individual selves, not by the group. There's nothing wrong with groups. You can be part of a group, but don't identify yourself mainly with that group.
Groups, but we shouldn't be defined by that group.
Exactly. That's
we
the whole
should be
point.
defined by our character, our flaws.
Like Martin Luther King. That's why he fought for.
Yeah, because there's always going to be groups. You're always going to be part of something. The white group, the black group, the Hispanic, the Italian, the gay, the straight.
And
there's always going to be groups.
And they're I think infinite groups, They're religious, atheist, tall, short.
Exactly.
Big,
there's always
small,
going to be
smart
groups.
It's like,
but just because one midget decides to beat the shit out of somebody, are all midgets horrible?
Exactly. or like one tall guy is good at basketball, then all them talking about great basketball. That's not how
Yeah,
it
every
works.
single tall person is great at basketball.
It's funny because most of the basketball players are not the tallest.
Yeah.
You realize that?
Most of the good ones, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're not the tallest. You know, Michael Jordan was tall, but not the tallest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have Stephen Curry right now, LeBron James. They're tall, but like not the tallest. So you know. All right, guys. Tell us what you think about this in the comments.
It's a short video, but it's very powerful, and I feel like there's a lot to could be said about it, and a lot to be learned from it. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your thoughts.
Like,
Comment.
subscribe.
Bye.
See you next time.